Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Yes, that's right, 3 shaves in 3 days on the video or on the camera. And today I'm going to be using a new soap. I want to try and not go through all the new stuff so quickly, so I might use a few off camera, but this is a new soap which I've been looking forward to try. I've seen it used several times on YouTube and I've seen a lot of good reviews about it. Now it is a hot pour soap and it is made in Scotland. It is made generally by people that maybe get physical disabilities and people that might be struggling financially. They're just trying to help people out. So it's got a bit of a nice backstory to it. Now this stuff is handmade in Scotland for the gentleman's groom room. I believe it's made up near Inverness, up in near Aberdeen or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Now, oh, the Shetlands, there we go. So that is the ingredients if you want to pause that and have a look. Handmade by Shetland Soap Company, especially for the gentleman's groom room. Lyric. And this one here is called Sweet Gale. Now the scent on this, when I popped it open straight away, is fizzy cola bottles. Very, very similar scent to Wickham 1912 Club Cola. Now this one, for me, is just a slightly more cola scent than what that is. It's a little bit stronger when you first open it. It does die away quickly. And as you can see, glycerin based soap, this stuff is rock hard. It really is. And you can see, because it's a hot pour, on the bottom all those herbs and spices and things that are through it. So I think the further down you get through this soap, the more pungent the scent will be, the stronger it will become. Anyway, let's get stuck in. The brush I'm using today, I am working my way around the den of brushes one by one. I've lined them all up so that I get them different brush every single shave, and it gets used no matter what, unless obviously there's a request that needs to be done. It's going to be my Grizzly Bay. This one is the Joker colour scheme, I believe. I think that's what it's called. Beautiful, vibrant green and purple. And it's got a 26mm Grizzly Bay Fanturian, or Manchurian Fan, whatever you want to call it. Fanturian seems to be the flavour of the month. And it's got beautiful tips on it. This is a superb knot, one of my favourite knots in the den. This was very, very kindly gifted to me. And I can never remember this guy's name. I remember it before I come on the camera, and then I go to say it and I cannot bloody remember. So I apologise again. I'll need to troll through, find the name and pop it in the next video I use it. So here we go, straight onto the soap. I haven't bloomed this soap. I've done absolutely nothing with it. I've done the exact same as what I always do, especially before work. I've had a shower, I've dried off, got all my work clothes and everything ready. Oh, the scent's lovely. It's good scent strength actually. I didn't think it'd be that good. It was around about a 3 out of the tub once you take the lid off and let it air out a little bit. But that's definitely went up a notch or two. That's up nearer a 5 now out of 10 in terms of scent strength. I'm going to load this pretty heavy because I'm doing my neck as well. And I might as well get them out of the one load. As you can see, it's whipping up really nicely into the brush. The brush is picking up the soap nice. Take a little bit longer to load it because I haven't bloomed this soap. And like I said, it is hard, it's a very hard soap, so you've really got to try and cut into that top layer to get to all the goodness below. Now historically, well, that's probably not the right word, historically. Is the brush loaded? Glycerin based soaps for me generally make a really lightweight sort of airy lather. You can get them slightly dense, but my memory of it, really my main glycerin based soap that I used was Colonel Conk's Lime, which was nice. It was a nice soap, but didn't give you that sort of protection that you get, or that I find, with the quality artisan soaps. This one, so far, just on my hands, feels very, very slick. And for me personally, I like the volume you can create with a lather. I like getting it nice and thick and creamy and all that, but ultimately, the most important part of the shave for me is slickness. And it's more notable with head shaves. You really need that slickness on a head shave. Just found a hair there, one of the wife's. There we go. Let's start painting this on. So I met Ian at the gentleman's groom room with Kevy Shaves. Ian is the owner of the gentleman's groom room, and he was saying that his wife cannot believe that he owns a shaving shop but still buys stuff out with his shop. She can't get her head around it. Of course, he doesn't stock and sell every single artisan of soap. He generally has your sort of premium British brands, your Trumpers, Taylor of Old Bond Street, all those ones. It's also branched out into some Captain Fawcett's, which for my money is one of the best soaps on the market. It's a really great performing soap. He's got both versions of their soap, the sort of premium one in the wooden tub with the brass coin on the top, that's the logo or the label. And then he's also got the one that I have, which is the original initial version. Oh, this knot is absolutely incredible. Well, the soap lathered up really nice. I'm quite surprised. I wasn't expecting it to lather so creamy and dense. Now it's definitely lighter, the lather itself. Look at that brush. Can you get much more lather into a knot? Really? Got enough to shave my head 15 times, eh? Put that to the side. I'm going to be using cartridge razor today. I'm going to be using Gillette Skin Guard, which I had paired up with my Fusion Chill handle. I prefer the blue handle. I'm not a big fan of orange. I'm not a big fan of blue, to be honest, with Rangers and Man City being blue, but I'd much rather blue than orange. Right, just wet the blade. This is the same cartridge that I picked up in the UK, in Scotland, about 5 weeks ago. And it's done a shit ton of head shaves. It's done a few face shaves as well. It's done my wife's legs twice, this one cartridge, and it's still peeling the hair off so comfortably. This might be the day it dies. I am doing a cold water shave, so it might be a little bit different. Nope, it's just as smooth as you like. Now I'm just going to rinse this now, but you can see there how dense that lather is. I'm really impressed. I was not expecting that. That's dense lather, it's quite heavy. And there is the best part about the Gillette, in my opinion. It rinses out clear pretty much every time. I've had the odd time where it's clogged a little bit. I've got 2 days growth, which helps, rather than trying to whip off 4 or 5 days growth with a cartridge razor, which this will do it. But I find trying to take that amount of growth off with a cartridge razor is sort of silly, because the razor just can't cope with that amount of hair. It just clogs up almost on the very first pull of the first stroke. So with a couple of days growth, you can sort of smash the same areas a bit. This lather's really good. Really happy with this. I picked this up mainly to try and support the gentleman's groom room a little bit. Like I say, my funds were pretty much depleted by then. And I thought, oh, glycerin based hot pour, and I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting much. I was expecting it to be very similar to Colonel Conks, a pretty average performer, gets the job done, provides just enough slickness. I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, let's get it straight. It's no Barrister and Man Excelsior. It's no face fat. It's no grooming department, no Balota. But it's very slick. In fact, I'm amazed how slick it is actually. It's got incredible residual slickness. Yeah, the residual slickness is amazing. Like, Williams mug soap's like slicker than most soaps I've used. Now they did say, Kevy said as well, Kevy Shaves, that it is actually a really good performance soap. I was not expecting this. I can't remember how much it was. It wasn't that much. But for the money, worth every cent, every penny. I'm finding with this razor now, however, like I'm doing now, I'm having to buff quite a bit to get it BBS. Because the blades aren't quite as sharp, they're obviously still very sharp because I'm not getting any tugging or pulling or roughness, it's just super smooth. But it takes a little bit longer just to knock down that last couple of millimetres, last millimetre. Right, so what I'm going to do is just leave my head at the moment, just like that. It's BBS, perfectly BBS, there's nothing, no hair anyway. And just see what the post shave feels like in a little bit, see if it feels any good after a short period of time. Just going to rinse this soap out now, as I'm about to move on to my face shave now, my neck shave, because I've got enough soap here to do at least 4 passes on the face, and yet I'm only doing my neck. So one thing I've learned, you don't need to overload Gentleman's Groom Room, although I would probably still load the same amount of soap no matter what anyway. So cold water shave still. This brush creates such a good lather, as good as any synthetic. In some ways I actually enjoy using this more than most synthetics, if not all. It's such a nice note. Right, here we go. Same again, carved Christopher Bradley razor, C-plate, vintage, perma sharp, and here we go. I've just received confirmation yesterday as well that my carved stainless steel razor is on the way, and I cannot wait, honestly can't wait. It's been over a year since I purchased this carved razor, and I've been just desperate practically for the stainless to be released. It's taken a long time. It's obviously taken a lot of planning and purchasing the correct equipment to do the job. Obviously the same cutting tools for cutting brass aren't going to be able to cut the toughest steel, and I don't know whether you need different machines and different things for stainless, given that it's a much tougher metal. Right, against the grain-ish. Very nice, done and dusted. Now the blade, I will say in that razor there, so it's the third use on that Permasharp Supreme, and it was a little bit rougher, wasn't super rough, it was definitely usable, but it wasn't anywhere near as smooth as those first two shaves, so interesting to see how it goes in the next one. Just rinsing the brush out now. The other thing I love about this brush is the soap. You've seen how heavily loaded that brush was, how much lather was there. The soap never reaches the base of the knot, very rarely gets there, it just releases the lather, and that's part of the reason why once I rinse it out just a couple of times, it comes up brand new again. No gaping holes, no bent fibres, no messing about, it just works really well. It's a beautiful knot. For some reason the name Tim is coming to mind. I think it might be Tim that sent me this. He just sent me it, I didn't even know it was coming. Right, post shave feel is surprisingly excellent again. Look, once again, it's not Noble Otter, it's not Barrister Man, but it feels silky smooth, it feels moisturised, it doesn't feel dried out. That's a big gripe that I had with glycerin based soaps, was the post shave feel. But post shave feel in this is excellent, it really is excellent. So all I'm going to do is finish off today with some medicated witch hazel from Thayer's. I love the scent on this stuff. Beautiful clove scent, gives a nice burn. So that was the Gentleman's Groom Room Sweet Gale, which smells very much like cola. Very good scent strength as well. Excellent to lather, really simple to lather, easy to lather. You'll get a voluminous lather from it no matter really what brush you use, I would say. Slick, it's ever so slightly airy. It's not as dense as Barrister Man Excelsior, Noble Otter, Grooming Department Face Fat, but it's very dense for a hot pour glycerin based soap. So I'm really impressed with it. I think they've done a great job with it. I think it's an awesome product to be selling where they are. I love the little label on it. I think the label looks great. It's a bit sort of classy with a little bit of tartan, black, white and gold. You can't really go wrong. And the bloke that sells it, Ian, is an awesome guy, a really nice bloke. He's also a Celtic supporter, and that just makes it that little bit sweeter. So that being said, that's me done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions or any comments, put them down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.